The weekend has been a rather dramatic one. In Ghana and then in Nigeria, we've had different incidents from the 7-0 thrashing of the Basotos at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi to the unfortunate crash of two Nigerian airliners in Accra and Lagos. With the death of over 160 persons in both accidents, safety measures in the aviation sector has been brought onto the front burner. The Mills administration has made significant investments in the aviation sector, evident in the buoyancy and expansion of its infrastructure, equipment, and personnel to put the Kotoka International Airport as the numero uno in the sub-region. What are the safety measures in Ghana's aviation sector to forestall future accidents? And what new breath of life has government introduced to make our airspace safer and viable? Help me welcome Honorable Jifa Ativo, Deputy Minister of Transport, to tonight's edition of the Majority Caucus as we discuss the topic, Ghana's aviation sector, safety and development. Honorable Deputy Minister, you're warmly welcome to Majority Caucus.
Thank you very much.
And then let me take the opportunity to apologize for the late starts of the program, and then we're going straight. Madam, over the weekend, we recorded the unfortunate accident of a cargo airliner crashing through the walls of the Kotoka International Airport and then killing some 10 Ghanaians. I understand His Excellency the President visited the site of the crash and also have made some overtures to the families of the bereaved. What exactly can you tell us about the moves that have been made so far by your ministry?
Well, as you rightly said, on Saturday at about 7:10 p.m., there was an unfortunate incident at the Kotoka International Airport where an Allied air cargo flying from Lagos to Abidjan and via Accra had a problem. On landing, it overshot the runway, and finally rested at where we normally construct the Hajj village near the El-Wak Stadium. We quickly rushed to the airport and met with the management of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority and Ghana Airports Company Limited, which has set up an emergency operation center. We were having briefing when we had a call that His Excellency the Vice President was on his way to have a first-hand information on what actually took place. So he came over, he was briefed, and we went together to the incident scene, and he congratulated the military and the police for their dedicated to protect the area so that evidence will not be tampered with. And the following morning, we went back to the office. His Excellency left, and we were there to issuing different kinds of statements. About 5 or 6 statements came through the media, and we finally departed about 12:30 midnight. By 6 a.m., we assembled again at the airport because there was a need to set up an investigation team to look into what actually happened. We had a call that His Excellency the President himself was on his way to visit the place. So he came, he had a briefing, we went to the site, and he also visited the crew of 4 on the Allied Air who were on admission at the airport clinic. He had a few discussions with the pilot, the co-pilot, and at this point I want to extend our deepest appreciation to the Vice President for the prompt action he took. He had just returned from Brazil about 30 minutes to 1 hour when the thing happened, but he did not say that he was tired, but he came over. And for His Excellency the President, Sunday, we all know the President's passion for church activities, but he had to skip that and came over to empathize with first of all, those who were bereaved, and also visited the crew. So we are very, very grateful. And also at this juncture, I would like to express the ministry's condolence to the bereaved family, even though my minister and other delegation members were there yesterday.
Okay.
And as a government, we are committed. We want to alleviate the pains that these people have suffered through the loss of their loved ones. You could see that most of the victims age between about 18 to 30. That's a very youthful age, and these people could have grown up to become useful citizens. So we are very much saddened about this accident, and we want to express our deepest condolence to the family. Whatever needs to be done to assuage their pain, we will do that.
Honorable Deputy Minister, soon after the accident, we heard a statement from the Minister of Transport. Can you brief us more about the import of the statement?
Yeah, in the aviation industry, when an accident occurs, there's a need for the setting up of an investigation team to find out exactly what caused the accident and also make recommendations to forestall future occurrences. So on Sunday, the Honorable Minister inaugurated a 5-member committee with the term of reference include the finding out exactly what caused the accident, the damage to property, the other related incidents, and also make recommendations to forestall future occurrences. They have been given 30 days to submit their report to enable us to move forward from there.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So within the next 30 days, we should expect that the report should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that your ministry is also making some efforts to ensure that the cargo, the wreckage that has been left there will be moved, or due to the investigation should be left there for the time being?
Yeah, it depends on how fast the investigation team is able to gather evidence.
Okay.
You know, we cannot tamper with evidence as at now. So as soon as they're able to gather the evidence, the aircraft will be towed from its current location to a safer place. Yeah.
Okay. The question on the minds of many of our people within Ghana and in the sub-region, even around the world, is that if Kotoka International Airport is actually a safe place for their aircraft to come to land. And then especially on the back of maybe a near-fatal accident that might have occurred with the anthrax situation, but for the meticulous nature of airport authorities and then the management of the company itself. Is it a case that Kotoka International Airport is really a safe place under this administration?
Even before I go to that, I want to express our condolence to the people of Nigeria, the government and people of Nigeria, for the loss of more than 153 of their citizens. You know, Ghana and Nigeria, we just like brothers and sisters, yes, and we also share in their grief. Yeah, Kotoka, the airspace in Ghana is very safe. Okay. Very, very safe. We have one of the enviable airspaces in the sub-region. Okay. Because of the quality of personnel that we have at the Civil Aviation Authority, the type of equipment that are being deployed to ensure the safety of the airspace. You know, of late we've deployed some equipment which is in the requirement in the IATA regulation. For example, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has procured an equipment by name, it's a long name, so I have to, Doppler VHF omnidirectional radio range. This helps the pilots to navigate safely and efficiently to and from Kotoka International Airport. They have also deployed another equipment named ADS-C/CPDLC communication system, which is also helping in improvement of the communication between the pilots and the air traffic controllers. They've also deployed a weather observation equipment. You know, this gives, every 30 minutes, information is communicated to the pilots to know exactly the terrain before they proceed for landing. For example, when there's the weather is very bad, like what happened on Saturday, this equipment will transmit to the pilot what the situation is, advising whether to continue to land or try and maybe circle for some time before landing. Because when there's the weather affects the navigation. I don't know how to explain it. At times the visibility is obstructed. So this equipment communicates to the pilot, and the final discretion lies with the pilot whether he should land or he should circle for some time. Yeah, so we have invested a lot in the infrastructure of the airport to make it very, very, very safe. You see, we all know what Africa is perceived to be having an unsafe airspace. In Ghana, we've tried as much as possible to procure up-to-date equipment to make sure that our airspace is safe. Even just recently, we constructed an ultra-modern fire station for such incidents. We've also rehabilitated the fire tenders to get the place ready for any eventuality. So I must say that our airspace is very, very safe, and we have qualified personnel that man the air traffic control.
And all this happened within the last 3 years?
Yes, we've had all this within the last 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been reading the news for some time. I understand that some of the domestic flights, Starboard, Amtrak, and CityLink, they have gone ahead to procure even new equipment to begin regional flights to some regional capitals in the sub-region. Is that a positive development?
Very, very positive. Our aviation sector has grown beyond our expectation. You know, when we took office, we had about 16 flights. By now, we have as many as about 32. And before July ending, we are expecting 2 more airlines to fly to Ghana.
I read about Iberia from Spain,
Spain
today on the net.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the domestic one is what has marveled all of us. For example, Tamale has seen an increase of about 60%, Sunyani about 40%, Kumasi also about 60%. But you know, we have a challenge of the infrastructure that we have. For example, some of the runways are not in proper condition, lighting system and all that. But we are trying gradually to address them. You know, in every country, development of aviation is quite expensive, and there's a need for the beneficiaries to partake in the development of the infrastructure that they use. So we are coming out with a cabinet memo to put some levy on the tickets for infrastructure development and also for security. Okay. Yeah, it's very important. In other countries, it's there. When you go to JFK, the passenger tax is about $300. The security is about $150. The development levy is about $150. And the development levy is plowed back into the development of the infrastructure. This will help us to work on the tarmac, even the terminal buildings, any other infrastructure that is needed without always going to the government. We cannot always put all this capital on government budget. So we are working seriously to get this so that we can enhance our airport infrastructure, because the pressure is currently on us. Yeah. We
heard in the past that with the number of international airlines that you mentioned, that it has increased over the period. Have we equally expanded, especially the parking spaces on the tarmac and all that, to accommodate some of these airlines in case that they come to Accra and they decide not to go back?
Yeah, you know, last year we had an incident where the Lufthansa airline and the Turkish airline, they had a brush of their tails.
Okay.
We instituted an investigation into what caused that, and the recommendation was that we needed more parking space. So as I speak to you, we are constructing 8 parking areas for these wide-bodied aircrafts. Work is almost complete. When you move from the airport towards AFGO, the construction is ongoing seriously. We even passed with His Excellency the President on Sunday. So we are working seriously. We know there's pressure on us, but we are also trying to meet the challenges. For example, we've ordered new baggage, what do you call it? The one on which the baggage,
troller?
The baggage, no. I've forgotten the name.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the one in which you put the baggage at the arrival hall.
Oh, okay.
We've ordered new ones, and they will be coming in September because we realize that the ones that we have are no more functioning properly. Most of the time it breaks down and all that. So
the luggage gets stuck somewhere in there.
And you know the passengers will naturally complain. So we are procuring new ones, and by September they will be in, and we'll mount them at the arrival halls.
That's very, very.
And we're also
impressive.
working towards construction of a second terminal.
A second terminal?
Yeah, where the
Kotoka?
Yeah, that's the plan of Ghana Airports Company Limited, to have a second terminal where their current office, where the clinic is. They'll relocate the office and the clinic and put up the second terminal there because there's so much pressure at the airport right now. Yeah.
So we have expanded so much that we need a second terminal to manage
otherwise
the traffic at the airport.
Very, very chaotic. Currently, we have even moved some of the international check-in to the domestic terminal because of the pressure at the departure hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In relation to the Saturday accident at the airport, the worry on the hearts of most of our Muslim brothers and sisters is that the Hajj village that they had so much cherished, that government has constructed for them, and all the troubles they used to go through before the NDC government came to power in 2009, everything has been solved for them in a very decent and a well-managed way. Do we have plans of ensuring that we maintain the Hajj village as it is, owing to this accident?
You know, His Excellency the Vice President is from the northern sector. Even though he's not a Muslim, he cares so much about our Muslim brothers and sisters. So he's very much committed to seeing to it that we develop Tamale into an international standard, so that our brothers and sisters from the northern sector will conveniently do their Hajj operations from Tamale instead of driving all the way from Tamale to Accra and the inconvenience of housing them. That's why they normally create this Hajj village where these aircraft parked when the accident happened. Imagine it was Hajj season.
Yeah, it
would have lost a lot of our people. So we are very much committed to that. So when he visited Brazil just last week, you know, Ghana is arranging some master facility agreement with the Brazilian government.
I have 173 million.
Yeah, so under it, we have the Tamale Airport project. But we've realized that it is quite urgent. So His Excellency has appealed to them to take out the Tamale project from the master facility agreement and work on it expeditiously.
Okay, so it becomes a separate facility altogether.
Yeah, Brazilian government has agreed, and we've been asked to write to that effect, and they will consider it as quickly as possible. But before His Excellency went, we had signed an MOU with a Brazilian contractor who had designed the drawings. The drawings are now in place, very beautiful ones. The first phase will be the work on the runway. The runway will be the first phase. When the runway is complete, the international flights can start. The second phase will involve the terminal buildings and other ancillaries like the maintenance and repair, overhaul section, the hangars and all that. The last phase will be maybe like a cargo village. You know, this SADA project that we are working on, a lot of export commodities will be going from the northern region. You know, His Excellency, the Vice President, recently commissioned this shea butter factory.
The buffet?
Yes, and these are going to be exported to Brazil.
Okay. And
many more are going to be opened. And we'll be having this perishable food, fruits and vegetables for export. So there's a need for immediate airlifting of these commodities to the international market so that they will arrive there very fresh.
Okay.
So the Tamale Airport is dear to our heart. Nobody should deceive the Muslims that His Excellency John Mahama is not a Muslim, so he doesn't care about them. He's very much caring for our Muslim brothers and sisters. So he's put all his energy in seeing to it that the Tamale Airport is a reality.
Okay. All right. There had been some proposals that Ghana needs a second airport away from the Kotoka International Airport. And then some suggestions have been made about looking at a location between Accra and Adan, and somewhere around Pram, Ningo, that area within the Accra Plains to be used as an alternative airport. Should this suggestion be given serious attention? Thoughts?
Well, even before this incident occurred, we had been working seriously on procuring some land at the Dangbe West district for relocating of our international airport. My minister was there some months back to have a discussion with the assembly, and the surveyors have been tasked to go and survey the place, and we'll take it from there. Okay. It's very, very important that we start looking at moving away from the congested area. So imagine what's happening in Lagos. Yeah. Because it's a residential area,
yeah, up all over the place, yeah, and all that.
So it's important we start looking at moving out of the city.
So within the next, let's say within the next 5 years, within the next 6 years, we should expect some development in that respect.
We are very hopeful, because one of the benefits of the aviation levy will be to get more money to put into aviation infrastructure. So I believe that once we start collecting this levy, we'll have enough money to even invest in that. But maybe our oil money can even support us to put up this infrastructure.
Because it's going to also directly benefit the oil sector as well. Okay, that's perfect. And then let's also go into another very important development that happened. That was with the takeover of the Tema Dry Dock company from the Malaysians. What are the issues? What are the prospects for Ghana benefiting immensely and directly from that takeover?
Okay, maybe before I come to the benefits, I'll just give a little background to the Tema shipyard. You know, this shipyard was built by Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah during the construction of the Tema Harbour as part of the General Maritime Infrastructure Development. It was operating quite well. It's the second biggest after the one in South Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was strategically placed to take advantage of the maritime industry. But over time, there was a need to recapitalize the shipyard. That's how come the Malaysians were invited and given the 60% shareholding. But the Malaysians have really let us down. They did not invest in the infrastructure as has been agreed upon in the joint venture agreement. So when before we took office, there was a lot of agitation from the workers. They were always on the street, and you remember CJ was their mouthpiece and all that. So when we came to office, my former minister, Honorable Mike Hammer, set up a committee chaired by Mr. Chris Akumi to look into the operations of the shipyard and come out with recommendations. Excuse me. And one of the recommendations was that it was about time Ghana government took back the 60% shareholding, because the Malaysians did not keep their side of the agreement. So we set up a team. Finally, it was moved to the presidency under the oversight responsibility of the chief of staff. It was a high-level committee tasked to negotiate with the Malaysians to take back the 60% shareholding. It was quite tough. At a point, His Excellency the President had to dispatch a team to Malaysia to meet with the Malaysian Prime Minister to have a discussion on the takeover. And finally, it was realized that it was mutually beneficial to both countries for the Malaysians to let go their 16% shareholding. So on their return, the negotiating team, both teams, the Malaysians and the Ghanaian team, invited Pricewaterhouse and Deloitte and Touche to bring a proposal for the valuation of the shipyard. It was done, and it was valued at about $8.5 million US. So there was a need to pay back the 60% shareholding to the Malaysians. When it was the 60% shareholding that the Malaysians took in the 1990s cost about 4.9. No, they paid about 4.9, and they were expected to invest about $5 million US for recapitalization, but they didn't do that. So after the valuation, the 60% for the Malaysians was put at about 5 million.
Okay.
And what the Malaysians did was that because the place was not operating efficiently, they borrowed money for the day-to-day running of the place.
Wow.
So there was a need to pay them that money, but it was discounted.
Okay.
And from the 3.8, it came to about 1.2 million US dollars. And because the Malaysians had initially invested about 4.9, which they paid at the initial stage, and the value now for their 60% is about 5 point something, there was a capital gain of about 770 million US, 770,000 US dollars. So this is what we are going to pay them. They will pay 15% of this to Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yeah. GRA.
So the final amount that will be paid to the Malaysians will be about 6.1.
Okay.
So we are working seriously on it. There will be a board meeting at the end of this month where the share transfer certificates will be signed, and that will be the end of it. That will take the 100% shareholding officially, and the new board will have to be commissioned and a new management so that we move the shipyard forward.
Okay. What has the future for the Tema dry dock and
even in this state, we now have a Ghanaian management there in place now since November, and they are doing quite well. There's been some rehabilitation of the place. The place has been booked now between now and August. The place has been booked for ship repairs.
I see.
You know, the smallest ship, they charge as much as 100,000 US dollars.
For repairs?
Yes. The bigger ones attract about 800,000 for minor repairs. So the shipyard is very, 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 very income generating activity for government. It's unfortunate that it's been run down, but I want to commend our President Mills, for his commitment to take back the shipyard, because he's realized that we cannot allow the Malaysians to continue exploiting this vital national asset. So we have taken it back, and already GNPC is interested in taking part of the yard to set up a fabrication plant there. And this will recruit about 600 of our people. See, the shipyard will provide jobs to our people in the engineering, carpentry, mason, any other job. Currently, we have just about 200 workers there, but I can recruit as many as more than 2,000 people at the shipyard when there's investment in it and the place is run properly.
So we should look forward to the buoyancy returning to the Tema shipyard.
You see, you know, shipyard is not in isolation. You see, currently the work that is ongoing in Tema, you know, all the road networks are being fixed, the light is being fixed. The Tema harbor is now very even congested as at now because of the maritime activities that are ongoing.
Okay.
You know, the Tema harbor road is linked to the Eastern Corridor Road. So there will be a flyover at the Tema roundabout to facilitate movement of goods and persons.
Okay.
So Tema has seen a lot of development, and the shipyard is also going to add to job creation for our teeming youth who leave Poly or the Regional Maritime University and they don't have anywhere to do what they've been trained to do. So there's a lot of opportunity at the shipyard, and we are just happy that His Excellency has demonstrated good leadership quality and has taken over this national asset. Okay.
Joining us tonight to discuss the aviation sector, safety and development in the sector, we've also been looking at the Tema shipyard company, of which the 60% of shares had been taken over completely by government, making it 100% interest for the government and the people of the Republic of Ghana, only under the Better Ghana agenda of His Excellency President John Evans Atta Mills. Honorable Deputy Minister, we're still discussing the prospects of Tema getting back to its glory. If you want to ask a few more.
Yeah, you know, Tema is seeing its fair share of the Better Ghana agenda with the road network, the lighting system. You know, when I was here last time, I told you that work was ongoing, extending the rail line from the Tema Harbour to Community 1. That has been completed.
That's great.
And very soon the station will be completed and the passengers will have the benefit of traveling up to from Accra all the way to the Community 1.
So you can move now from Asrapochona right to Community 1 in
from
Tema.
From Accra direct to Tema.
That is great news.
Yes. So Better Ghana agenda is live and kicking in Tema.
Oh, okay.
I have no doubt the good people of Tema Metropolis will give the mandate to Honorable Ofosu Ampofo and the current MCE Kempis come December 7.
That's great to hear. The last time on the program, one of our callers from Dambai was asking questions about a bridge that connects Dambai to other communities, and that his complaint was that the bridge is almost collapsing, and then wanted to find out what measures our government has in regard of that bridge construction. If you have something to tell one of those viewers.
Okay, I will convey this information to the Roads and Highways Minister.
Okay.
Currently, the Eastern Corridor Road is ongoing around the Pasa area, which is not too far from Dambai.
Okay.
So I'm sure he will have the chance to look at it and try and fix it.
So that is directly under the Ministry of Roads?
Yeah, Roads and Highways.
Okay, let me open the phone lines and allow our viewers to be part of the discussion. You can join us now on 0302 211 701 or 0302 211 702, 0302 211 703, and 0302 211 704. The phone lines are opened now. If you can start calling. Yes, madam. Still on the aviation sector, with the introduction of the new airlines for most of our, my excitement exactly is with the domestic sector. Now we have students, market women, so many people patronizing our local flights. How did you fix that in the ministry?
Well, you know, because of the economic activities that are going on in the country, most people are now having quite substantial income.
Okay.
For example, with the introduction of the single spine, salaries have increased about 3-fold. So people now feel convenient and capable of buying tickets to travel instead of being on the roads with the problems of the accidents and
even the stress.
I mean, the stress of traveling from here to Kumasi. You can be in the traffic for about 5 hours and all that. But with the airline, it takes just about 30 minutes to get to Kumasi, 30 to 40 minutes to get to Kumasi. So people now are earning quite substantially. So they prefer to park their cars and travel by air. That was what has put pressure on the facilities that we have. But you know, because there's competition, the fares have reduced.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, previously you pay as much as about 500 Ghana to Tamale and back, but now it's less than 400.
Okay.
So competition is good.
Okay,
for example, Fly 540 wants to come and do what Ryanair does in Europe.
Oh, okay.
With low fare.
More like an EasyJet kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay, let me pick my first caller. Hello.
Hello, fellas.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, fellas.
Welcome to Caucus.
Yes, thank you very much. As usual, Jonathan, I'm calling from Bongo High Street.
Okay.
You know, Bongo Naba is watching this program. Madam Ativo, good evening. Congratulations for winning your primaries again once more. We are happy to see you in Parliament after 2012. Fellas,
yeah.
I believe the people of Bongo and Upper East will not forgive me if I don't ask this question. And fellas, they will not forgive you if you cut me in the process of asking this question.
Can you go straight? Can you go straight to the question?
Yes. Fellas, I want to ask Madam Ativo in Bongo, I don't know whether you've heard of the road from Bongo to Bongo.
She's the transport minister.
If you have ever heard of it, the road from Bongo to Bongo has not been constructed.
Hello.
The 2008 elections.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, fellas.
Yes, she is the deputy minister for transport. The road.
Transport.
Yes, the road ministry.
Transport,
the road ministry, road and highways is a separate ministry altogether. So she cannot be answering.
And I think Madam will send that to transport for me, please.
Okay,
Madam has been a role model.
Okay.
Let me learn. I know Madam will do that for me.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much,
yes, I've
Bongo.
not finished first.
Yeah,
Hello,
Bongo, I'm sorry. We have other callers on the line. So once the issue...
I've not finished, fellas. I've not finished. Yes,
I'm giving you 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds. Madam, about the Tamale Airport station, the Tamale Airport, you've spoken a lot about it, and the people of the North are happy to hear of that. But, Madam, I want to ask, is this not one of the NDC's gimmicks that playing on the
Okay,
people of the
thank you
North?
very much. Thank you very much. Let me pick the next caller. Hello? Yeah, hello, Isa. Hello, Isa.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Kantaja calling from Wa.
Okay.
Yeah, I would first of all like to say, I want to say a very big thank you to you and then to the Honorable Deputy Minister. In fact, Madam, you are not only beautiful, but you are also hardworking and very focused, Minister. But what I just want to say is that we, the people of Ghana, specifically Upper West, in fact, we are very much happy with what the President is doing. We know that the President and then the NDC, for that matter, is very focused. And I know that, inshallah, come December 7th, they will be voted back, at least to continue with the good work that they are doing. Especially when you go to the issue of the northern region, there's an airport. I think it is a course in the right direction. That is why we Muslims like the NDC. We don't like the NDC because of anything, but we like the NDC because when it comes to, sharing the national cake, they do it irrespective of religious or ethnic basis.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me pick the next caller. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Kobe from Pantagua, Begro.
Yeah, Kobe.
Yeah. I want to say something. You know, the MP people, they are like a buffer solution. They resist change. There's no amount of dilution. You will still resist change. But let me go ahead with what I'm saying. You see, when the bell of seniority is tintinabulate, comparing 8 years to 3 years, it's 0.00. The MP people have nothing. See, apart from Wyoming and the free education, which they can't even substantiate when they are asked, even their party chairman cannot even give us an expression, great, even their fact bearer. They have nothing to offer Ghanaians. But what I want to tell Madam is that the railway is what I'm also taking, because my colleagues in the Western region are dying to see the railway being in motion.
Okay.
So more grace to her,
Okay.
and they should bring the railway back to track.
Okay, thank you very much, Kobe. Let me go back to Wa and pick up and my last caller for the evening. Hello?
This Aziz Donla from Wa.
Yeah, Aziz.
I'm happy to be your last caller. Mr. Felix, thank you very much. And thank Honorable for me. And after this program, if you get to the castle, you thank the Holy Professor for me. Looking at things, this government has done a lot across the sectors. With respect to the routes, we're having one route leading to Tumu. Currently, they are working on it.
Okay.
If you go into the communities, the road networks, they are now improved. And this is the kind of leadership that we want. What we want President Moss to do for us is he should be well focused. He should be mindful and target what he's to do for Ghanaians. We appreciate what he has done so far for us. And come December 7th, we are going to renew his mandate to continue with the unprecedented work that he's doing.
Okay, thank you very
much. You know what?
Make it snappy.
Yesterday was my birthday.
Okay.
And I want to thank you for that.
Okay, I wish you happy belated birthday, as this is my last caller.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, callers. Let me come back to Madam. If you want to respond to some of the callers, their questions and their issues.
Well, the first person spoke about my winning my primaries. I'm not an MP.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
And the Bolga Bongo route, I'll communicate to the Roads and Highways Minister. I'm surprised after all this I've said about the Tamale Airport, somebody thinks it's a gimmick. His Excellency, the Vice President, was in Brazil. I've highlighted all that we are going to do. We've signed an MOU with the contractor who has even come up with the drawings already. So I don't know what else I can say about this. It is a reality, it's not a fact.
Okay, okay. Yeah, before we go, Madam,
the railway is ongoing.
Okay. Before we go, the Black Stars actually whacked the Basotos, of Lesotho, 7-0. Any word of congratulations?
Yeah, I'm told the 7-0 represents the number of alphabets in the name Lesotho. I'm very happy about the leadership of the current coach. This shows that a black man, when given the opportunity, he can also excel.
We should have faith in our own.
Yes, we should encourage our own people. I'm not sure what they used to pay the white people, they are paying him, but he's doing his bit. And I want to, with Zambia, it's going to be tough, but I know our boys will excel.
Okay, that's great.